So first of all, what is Python? Python is a general purpose programming language that is often applied in scripting roles. So Python is an object-oriented programming language created by Guido Razam in 1989, right? So this Python programming language as well as scripting language, which is also called interpreted language. So it is ideally designed for rapid prototyping of complex applications. So already I said to you what is program and what is scripting. So program is in general is a sequence of instructions written so that a computer can perform the certain task. Program is just certain sequence of instructions, right? First, this Python is an interpreted language. Interpreted means it is automatically compiled when you write your code or scripting. If you compare to other Java, first you can compile the program, after that you can interpret it. So when you compile it, the higher level language converted to machine language. After that, when you interpret that, that is displayed as an output. But here it is an interpreted language. So when you write your code as a program or scripting, it's automatically compiled, and when you enter it, it display result. So that's why you can call it as interpreted language. So Python is an interpreted language. So it has an interfaces to many OS systems, calls and libraries. It is an extended to C or C++. So many large companies using the Python, including NASA, Google, YouTube, BitTorrent, and so on. So what are the features we have? There is no compiling or linking. There is no type declarations, automatic memory management, high-level data types and operations, object-oriented programming language, which is embedding and extending in C, which contains classes, modules, and exceptions. So dynamic loading of C modules, dynamic reloading of C modules, which is a rapid development cycle. It is ideally designed for rapid prototyping of complex applications, and which is a fast development, which also contains garbage collection, code structuring, and you can reuse it. So mixed language systems, which is a programming in the large support. So and simplified extensions and smaller binaries. So Python programs can be modified without stopping. And also it is an universal fit class object model. So Python is a runtime program constructions which handles unforeseen needs and end user coding. So which contains your instructions and rules, which is an interactive, dynamic in nature, which is also portability, which is also contains a wide portability, access to interpreter information, so Python is a meta programming introspective objects. So Python is a cross-platform programming without ports. So the Python compliant to portable bytecode. So it's execute speed, protecting source code, system tools, and GUI, persistent database, which connect to database also. Built in the interfaces to external service. So what are the characteristics of Python? So it provides rich data types and easier to read syntax than any other programming language. So it is a platform independent scripted language with full access to operating systems API, application programming interfaces. Compared to other programming languages, it allows more runtime flexibility. It includes the basic text information facilities of a Perl or AWK. Next, a module in Python may have one or more classes and free functions. So libraries in Python are cross-platform compatible with Linux, Macintosh, and Windows for building large applications. For building large applications, Python can be compiled to bytecode. Python supports functional and structured programs as well as object-oriented programming. It supports interactive mode. Yes, it supports interactive mode that allows the interactive testing and debugging of snippets of code. So in Python, there is no compilation step, right? Editing, debugging, and testing is fast. So what are the uses of Python? Python is widely used in artificial intelligence, natural language generation, neural networks, and other advanced field of computer science. So Python had a deep focus on the code readability. Okay, deep focus on the code readability. Mainly shell tools. Those are system admin tools, command line programs. Extension language work, rapid prototyping and development, language-based modules instead of special purpose parsers, graphical user interfaces, it's also access to databases, distributed programming, and internet scripting. So what are the scope of Python? There is science, there is bioinformatics, system administrators, that is Unix, WebLogic, WebSphere, Web Application Development, CGI, Jython servlets, and testing scripts. So why do we use this? Which is an object-oriented indentation. Indentation is one of the greatest feature in Python. Okay, indentation. It's a free, that is open source. Already in the comparison of other languages. How to install the Python? So Python is pre-installed on most Unix systems, including Linux and Mac OS. So, but for Windows operating system, you can download Python. It's a free source, so you can download about 2.7.7 only. Okay. If you don't have, I can share you the software. You can download and install in our systems. See here, this is your Python software 2.7.13. I can share you. You can directly install on our Windows 64-bit. Okay. Next. So who uses Python today? Who uses? Already I said to you, Python is being applied in real revenue generating products by real companies. For instance, Google, NASA, YouTube, BitTorrent, HP, Cisco, Seagate, Qualcomm, IBM uses Python for hardware testing. And ESRI uses Python as an end-user customized tool for its popular GIS mapping products. YouTube, the video sharing service, is largely written in the Python. So what can I do with Python? System programming, graphical user interface programming, internet scripting, component integration, database programming, gaming, images, XML, robot, and more. So in a Python, so which we can use analytical side as well as you can, if you want to develop any website, you can develop website with the Flask or Web2Py. If you want to develop e-commerce site, you can use Django. So you can directly, you have another tools are there. When you integrate those to the Python, you can develop websites, either Flask or Web2Py. Or if you want to develop e-commerce sites, you can use Django. But in our purpose, we are using analytical purpose. So with Python, basics are common. After that, we can apply statistics, probability, linear algebra. These concepts you can apply as a language in our Python, and you can develop those skills through Python. It will display result. After that, you can apply machine learning models, algorithms against your data through Python language. Okay, these are the things we are doing with Python. See, in the main Python and data science, the day-to-day task of a data scientist involves many interrelated but different activities such as accessing and manipulating the data, computing statistics, and creating visual reports on the data, building predictive and explanatory models, evaluating these models on additional data, integrating models into production system. So Python is an excellent choice for data scientist to do his day-to-day activities, as it provides libraries to do all these things. Python has a diverse range of open source libraries for just about everything that a data scientist does in his day-to-day work. So Python and most of its libraries are both open source and free. See here, Python code execution. How to execute the code? Mainly the Python traditional runtime execution model. The source code you typed is translated to bytecode, which is then run by the Python virtual machine. So your code is automatically compiled, but then it is interpreted. See here, when you write the code either in the command line interface or IDE, integrated development environment, when you write it, automatically it compiles. After that, when you enter command, automatically interpreted and display the result. So what are the extensions of your files? .py. Source code extension is .py. The bytecode extension is .pyc. It is compiled Python code. Okay. Now we start. So what are the contents I have covered here? First, these are the contents. After that, we'll integrate statistics, probability, and linear algebra and machine learning. So those concepts and models and algorithms you can apply against the data with the help of this Python language. This is our ideal Python GUI, integrated development environment. Here, this is our Python 2.7.13 version. Okay, first.
Pradeep?
Hello?
Yeah, Pradeep. I have the Python along with Spider. Is the correct software?
Python?
Along with Spider.
Yeah, you can practice that. Not a problem.
Okay.
Python with Python with some other integration tools are there. This is only ideal. There is an integrated development language environment, or you can practice directly through the command line interface also.
Okay. Even the version I have, it is 3.6.
Okay, at least 2.7 above is required. The 2.7 or 3.5 or 3.2 or 3.6 is not a problem. At least 2.7 is required. Okay. Nowadays, almost all companies using 2.7 above, 2.7.7 or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So these are the table of contents. What we are covering here: learn the basics, variables and types, list, basic operations, string formatting, basic string operations, conditions, loops, functions, classes and objects, dictionaries, modules and packages, the data science tutorials, that is numerical Python arrays, pandas basics and advanced tutorials, generators, list comprehensions, multiple function arguments, regular expressions, exception handling, sets, serialization, partial functions, code introspection, closures and decorators. After that, we'll start stats, probability, linear algebra and machine learning. Okay, these are the basic. First, see here. Now, first of all, if I want to print anything, how to write it? Suppose I want to print welcome to Python. Print within double quotes. So we have Python version 2, version 3. Currently, so many guys are using version 3. In the version 3, you should enclose double quotes. Here. Welcome to Python. So directly display the output. Welcome to Python. Okay. So whatever you want, you can write print double quotes, enclose the double quotes and write your string. Hi. So this is printing. Next. Hello, this is Python is how to print it. The print string here. There are two major Python versions, Python 2 and Python 3. Python 2 and 3 are quite different. So this tutorial uses Python 3, so advanced version. So because it more semantically correct and support new features also. For examples, on difference between Python 2 and Python 3 is the print statement. In Python 2, print statement is not a function, but whereas in Python 3 it is a function. Python 3 is a function. See here, and most invoke the parenthesis. So to print a string in Python 3, just write like this, print within the double quote, you can write like this. Next, indentation. Already I said indentation is the most important feature in our Python. So Python uses indentation for blocks instead of curly braces. So why you are using this? Python uses indentation for blocks instead of curly braces. Both tabs and spaces are supported, but the standard indentation requires standard Python code to use 4 spaces. Suppose see here, some x equal to something. If some x equal to 7, so comments you can write hash code. If you want to write any comment, you can write the hash. Print see here, enter. So in any other language you can write, you declare any variable x is equal to 7 and close the semicolon. After that, if you apply any condition, if x is equal to 7, you can open the curly brace and write your code and close the curly braces. But here there is no curly braces. You have an indentation. Directly you can write it, and press enter. Automatically display the axis 7. We have no curly braces. See here, Python uses indentation for blocks instead of curly braces. Both tabs and spaces are supported, but the standard indentation requires standard Python code to use for spaces like this. So white space and formatting. Many languages use curly braces to delimit the blocks of code. Python uses the indentation like this. You can practice it here. I can write first I in array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Print I. First line in for I block. Next for J in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Print I for first line for J block. Print I plus J. The last line in for J block. Print I. The last line in for I block. Print done looping. So this makes Python code is very readable. But it also means that you have to be very careful with your formatting. White spaces ignored inside the parentheses and brackets, which can be helpful for long-winded computation. So white spaces, either you can apply tab or space within the parentheses, it is allowed. Outside of this, it's not allowed. Okay, you should use proper way. Okay, see here like this. Long-winded computation within the parentheses 1 space plus space 2 space plus space 3 space plus. So it's allowed that white spaces within the parentheses. Okay, so and for making code easier to read, list is equal to array of matrices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9. Easier to list is 1, 2, 3, like our matrices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also use backslash to indicate that a statement continues on the next line, although we'll rarely do this. So here we are not given any indentation, right? So we are not giving any separators, line separators. Directly you can write x is equal to some x is equal to 1. You can write 4 spaces. It allows, that is an indentation, which is the advantage of our Python. So if you want to separate that line, you can use also backslash. See here, suppose you want to apply, so adding variables. Is equal to 2 plus backslash enter 3 5. See here, if you want to print adding variables, you can add it. Print. So it displays 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. Print adding variables. You can write, if you want to separate the line, you can use the backslash also. Okay. On consequence of white spaces formatting is that it can be hard to copy and paste code into the Python shell. Suppose if you want to complete this program here, copy, you paste here, enter. So hard to copy and paste if you want to type any program, or if you want to paste complete this one. See here what happened here. Copy, paste, and we will get the error. Expected an intended block. What it expecting? An intended block. First, you can write line by line. You are not copying any code from other areas and directly you don't want to paste here. Okay, you can type the code, or you can copy line by line. If you cannot copy complete code and copy and paste here. Okay, and the sequence of white space format is that can be hard to copy and paste code into the Python shell like this. So in the ordinary Python shell, you would get an indentation error. It's expected an intended block. So already we got an error right like that, right? Expected an intended block. So because the interpreter thinks the blank line signals the end of the for loops block. Okay, the Python has a magic function that percentage paste, which is correctly paste the whatever is on your clipboard. So this alone is a good reason to use Python. Okay. Next, variables. So first of all, what is a variable? What is a variable?
What I mean by that percentage based, that magic function something.
So Python has a percentage paste, which is correctly paste the whatever is on your clipboard. If you have any, if you want to copy this, you can apply percentage paste. Copy. Valid syntax something. The hypothetical percentage which is correctly paste the what is on your clipboard. This is and all. It is not working. So it's copied, but you will get an error without percentage. If you want to copy completely, it is an invalid syntax. 1 second. So here is not working. I will tell you how it is applied. Okay. So I will tell you later, right? So it's not working here. Maybe it is working in another version. Currently this is 2.7, right? I'm using 2.7. Maybe you'll try in your 3.6. If not, I will tell you. Okay. Next, variables and types. So what is a variable?
String.
So variable is nothing but a reserved memory location to store the values. In other words, variable is a program. Variable in a program gives data to the computer to work on. Variable in a program gives the data to the computer to work on. So every value in Python has a data type. So different data types in Python are numbers, strings, list, tuple, string, dictionary. So these are variables. So variables can be declared by any name or even alphabets like A, B, C, something. So variables can be declared any name, even alphabets also. Okay. See here, Python is completely object-oriented and not statistically typed. You don't need to declare variables before using them. Declare their type. Have you understanding? Python is completely object-oriented, not statistically typed. You don't need to declare variables before using them. So declare their type. Every variable in Python is an object. Okay. Python support numbers, list, tuple, string, dictionary. So variables can be declared by any name or even alphabets. So how to declare it? See here. Suppose we want to declare numbers. We have Python supports two types of numbers, integers and floating point numbers. It also supports complex numbers, which will not be explained here, right? Here. I will tell you complex numbers also, but here there is no complex numbers. I will tell you some a plus ib. Some you will give some a is equal to something and b is equal to something. You can apply. I can tell you the complex numbers also. So define an integer to use the following syntax. My int is equal to 7. Print my int. Have you given any data type here? We are not giving any data type. Even you can give alphabets also. See here. A is equal to 7. Right? We are giving something, but we are not close as a separate of semicolon. Just A is equal to 7. Print this value. Print A. Directly it will print the 7. Okay. Or A is equal to some 9. B is equal to some 7. And C is equal to A plus B. Print C. Yeah. We are not applying equal to here, right? Equal to 9. And B equal to 7. C equal to A plus B. Print C. Total 9 plus 7, 16. You can type like this, or some my int is equal to 9. Print 9. So it display the values. Like like you will get this like outputs, right? So define the floating point numbers. We use one of the following: my float 7.0, print my float, or my float of 7, print my float. It will display like this. Floating points. We have in our integers numerical values and floating points. Suppose here it is equal to some 3.0 print like, and display 3.0. Okay. Next, is equal to timer is equal to 4 or 6 point something. PNR is equal to some 9.0 and LNR is equal to something. INR plus PNR. Print LNR 15.0. So do you have you observed here? If I am writing within the function, it display like this. If I am not writing any function, displays. So in the version Python version 2, we are not using any function. A print is not a function here. In our version 3, so print we can call it as a function. Like, okay, that's why it displays. It works both ways. But advanced version is you can write the function. Okay. This is next. How to declare a variable? Already we have seen here. We have seen some assign the values. A assigned to 9. This is a declaration of variable. So if we want to print it, like you can directly print A. We are not applying any function here. Or if you want to apply like our version 3, declare some C is equal to 8. Write a function print of C. So this is the declaration of variables. So redeclare a variable. How to redeclare it? You can redeclare the variable even after you have declared it once. Already you have declared some A equal to 9. Now on to redeclare the variable. So you can redeclare the variable even after you have declared it once. So here we have a variable some A is equal to 9. Later we reassign that variable some value. A is equal to, I am giving the string Python. Okay, you can redeclare it. Suppose if you want to print, see here. Now I want to print print A. So it display the value. Suppose if I want to give same value, A is equal to 9. A is equal to 5. Redeclare the value. Print A. Display the high redeclaration. So it overrides the earlier value. So you can redeclare the variables even after if it is declared once. It works fine. If f is equal to something, printf or and redeclare the variables, you can give another value. See here, I can display both values. A is equal to 9 and print something A. One second. Okay. So you can redeclare it, automatically display the value. Redeclare the value. A is equal to some 78. A is equal to 98. Print A. It overrides 78 and it displays the 98. So the next concatenation variables. How to concatenation? Concatenation. Concatenation means you are adding the variables. So let us see whether you can concatenate different data types like string and number together. For example, we can concatenate some string and number. How to concatenate it? So unlike Java, which can concatenate the number with a string without declaring the number as a string, the Python requires declaring the number as string. Otherwise, it will show the type error. Okay. Suppose you write print within the quotations Python plus 3.6 enter auto displays cannot concatenate string and float objects, even integers also. Print within the quotation Python plus 4 Python 3. So cannot concatenate string and integer objects. So how to concatenate it? Now I want to concatenate both string as well as integer or floating points. How to concatenate it? See here. Either you can convert string into numerical into string or float into string. Okay. Print. I have a Python string. Now I want to convert this number as a string. Str of within the quotations 3.6. Now you can print it. See here, our version is Python 3.6. So you cannot concat both Python that is string and numerical or floating points. When you concatenate it, when you apply string, or you can convert those numericals or floating points as a string. So those numericals and floating points, when you apply the string function, it is converted to string. At that time, both are concatenated. Suppose, see here, print, both are strings. Python plus So enter it. So display Python Java. So if you take both strings, it will display the output. If you take both numericals, 3 plus 9, how much? 12. So if you take both strings, it display output. If you take both numericals, display output. So you cannot concatenate string and numericals or floating points. You can concatenate both strings and you can concatenate the numericals and integers. See here, print 3.6, 3.8 plus 4.2. Enter here. What is the total? 7.8. So you can concatenate both numericals and both floating points or both strings. It will display the result. So when you concatenate string, numerical or floating point, it doesn't display the answer. When you convert those numericals and floating points with the string function, now that will concatenate and display the value. See here, Python 3. There is no gap. When you want to give the gap, how to give the gap? Print Python plus and give the value. There can use single quote and Java. Control C. Here there is a gap in between the Python and Java. So suppose you want to give any commas, you can directly write here. Here Python comma Java. So you can give the gap in between. Either you can use curly and both double quotes or single quotes. You can write in between the quotes. You can apply some commas also. So it will concatenate. Okay. Next. So local and global variables. So what are the local variables we have and what are the global variables? In Python, when you want to use the same variable to rest of your program or module, you can declare it global variables. Already you are using this variable in one location, the same program. So when you want to use that program in another block, that is local to that program. So that first, when you define the first that variable, that is a global variable. When you reuse that variable in a block of code in the same program, that is local to that program. So in Python, when you want to use the same variable for rest of our program or module, you declare it the global variables. So while if you want to use the variable in a specific function or a method, you use the local variable. Here. So let us understand this. What is the difference between local and global variable? The program. So variable f is a global variable. I am defining some. I am giving some value. 101. Next. Which is, if you want to print it, you can print it. or we'll use another definition. So variable f is again declared in a function and assumes the local scope. So it is assigned the value in another function. So you should understand the function, but we are not defining any function here. So how to apply these functions in another block of code. So write some def. So when you want to define the function, you can write def your function name, some function. Okay. Next, some f is equal to Python. Print f. Okay. Now some function print that for printf, some function of not printing it. So properly not defined here. Some different function. Unexpected indent. Okay. So actually this is the global variable, this is the local variable. So when you print it, display the global and local variable both. Here not display. Actually when you define this f is equal to something, this is the global variable. So once the function is called over, the local variable f is destroyed another line. So when you again the print the value of f, which is displays the value of the global variable, some f12. So this is the global, this is the local. So you can use in the other function. Actually properly we are not defining the function, that's why which is not displayed here. The some function name we are not giving any function here, right? And that's why it is not displayed. When you use the proper function, it displays the values, global variable and local variable. So this is the global, this is the local to this function. So we can define some function here. That's why this is not displayed. When you use that proper function, it display the value. So I can use when I explain the function at the time, I can explain it clearly. This global and variable functions. Okay. This is global and local variables. Next, the variable f is a global in scope is assigned to the value of 12, which is printed output. So it display both 12 and as well as local variable is high. So variable f is declared in the keyword global, which is not local variable, but the same global variable declared earlier. So hence when we print its value of the output, we change the value of f inside the function. Here, you can change the value of inside the function. Automatically, it changes. Declared. Hence, we will print its value f persists at line number something where it is, either 3 or 4 or 5. So when we again print the value of f, is display as the value changing to the global variable. Now it displays both 12 and high. Okay. Suppose if you want to delete a variable, how can you delete the variable? You can also delete the variable using the command del variable name. You can give del and use the variable name. At that time you can delete the variable. Okay. How to delete it? So when we delete the variable from f, when we proceed to print it, we get error. Variable name is not defined, which means we have delete the variable. See here. Some f is equal to or p is equal to some 98. Print f. That is, now it is displayed like this. This is not closed, right? One second, I can close and open this some errors are displayed. F is equal to 98. Print f. Now I want to delete that function del f. Print f. Not defined. So it will display name f is not defined. Why? Because we are deleting that value. That's why it displays the f is not defined. Why? Because we are deleting that value. F is deleted. So print, when you apply the printf, you display the error name f is not defined. So once you delete a variable f and printf, it will be shows the comment, which means your variable is now deleted. Okay. If you want to delete, already this value is saved in our memory. That is, already we have a garbage collection, right? In that automatic memory management. So when you define the variable, automatically it is saved. When you print it, display the value, print p. So when you want to delete it, you can delete del p, automatically deleted. If you want to print p, there is no value. There is no value assigned to the p. Here, print p. That is, name p is not defined. So these are the variables. So variables are referred to envelope or buckets where the information can be maintained and referenced. Like any other programming language, Python also uses variables to store the information. So variables can be declared by any name or even alphabets like A or ABC something. So variables can be redeclared even after you have declared it them for once. In Python, you cannot concatenate string with numbers directly. You need to declare them as a separate variables. And thereafter, you can concatenate number with string. Declare local variables when you want to use it for the current function. Declare global variable when you want to use the same variable for the rest of the program. If you want to delete the variable, then apply del keyword. When you apply the del keyword, that variable is deleted permanently. So when you want to display that variable, that displays an error which is not defined. Okay. So these are the variables. Next, we will see strings. Strings are defined either in the single quote or double quotes. You can define like this: my string, either single quote or double quote. You can print the strings. Okay, the difference between the two is that using the double quotes makes it easy to include apostrophe, whereas they would terminate the string if you use single quotes. See here, my string. Don't worry about the astrobes and print my string. Don't worry about the astrobes. So there are additional variations of defining strings that make it easier to include the things such as carriage returns, backslashes, and Unicode characters. So how to use it? Strings. So if you want to access the strings in Python program is an object and string are an object too. So string is also an object. Numericals is also object. Variables is an object. By default, Python treat as the object. In Python, everything is an object and string is also an object too. So Python string can be created simply by enclosing the characters in the double quote, or either can use single quote also. Okay. So how to write it? See here, string str is equal to, they can use double quote hi, or you can use str1 single quote. How are you? Something. No? Okay. We are not applying the equal to. Str is equal to hi. Str1 equal to single quote. Or like this. You can declare like this. So you can access the values in strings. Python doesn't support a character type. Python doesn't support a character type. So these are treated as strings of either str is equal to within the double quotes or enclosed with the single quotes. But Python doesn't support the character type. Okay. So we use it. Some variable, we use the square brackets for slicing along with the index or indexes to obtain a substring. See here, already we have some str1 hi and str1 how are you. If you want to print it, print str hi. Suppose we want to print str1 display how are you. Okay, already you are declared str and str1. Suppose you want to remove some str del str. Now print here. There is no type and string. Next print str1, that is how are you. Right? Suppose if you want to add or concatenate these strings, you can use square brackets also. So we use the square bracket for slicing along with the index or indices to obtain a substring. See here, some variable 1 equal to hi or Python variable 2 is equal to welcome to the whole. Welcome to the code. Now I want to print the values. print within the quotations variable 1 array of 0. If you want to apply array of 0, you can use the square brackets. Array of 0 colon variable 1 array of 0. Next, print okay. Type it wrong and add variable of 1 or 0. Variable 1 is Python, variable 2 is welcome to other. Print variable 1 array of 0. Array of 0 is P, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Variable of array of 0, variable 1 array of 0 is P. Already is printed. Now print variable array of 1 colon 5 variable 2 square brackets 1 colon 5. So what is the value display here? So what are you asking? Variable 1 comma 5. So we are not getting 1 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So arrays every time starts from 0 to 0, 1, 2. From starts onward 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are the values we have? ELCO in between these variable 2. So that is display as a ELCO. Earlier we are asking variable 1 array of 0. Array of 0 is P. Now you want to display variable 1 of 0. That is display the value P. Now you want to asking the print variable except 1 comma 5 remaining values display. That is in the variable 2. So we are omitting 1 value and 5 value. So 0, next 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those values are displayed here. Okay, this is the way to display the value. That is, when you use the square bracket for slicing along with the index or indices to obtain substrings. So what are the values do you want? Do you want to display? You can write the within the array of square brackets. You can give the values. What are the values do you want? So omit the values and remaining values are displayed. Suppose see here. Now I want to display print within the quotations. I want to see variable within the square bracket code value and 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want value 6. I want to display those 3 to 6 values. Colon variable 2. 2 to 6. So we are giving wrong value. Control C. Okay. We are giving here 3 to 6, but we are asking 2 to 6. That is the problem. Problem. We are not giving the comma. Yes. Variable 3 to 6. What is the 3 to 6? See here. 0, 1, 2, 3. C. 4, 5, 6. Come. Right? 0, 1, 2. Hello?
Here it's working. I mean, in variable we have mentioned 3 and 6. And 3 and 6, then it was, we missed comma.
Right. Again, we are giving the wrong value. Here, now display come 3 to 6. Array of 0 W, array of 1 E, array of 2 L, array of 3 is C, array of 4 O, array of 5 M. So then only display the come like this. What are the substrings you want? You can type like this. Okay. So we have various string operators. What are the operators we have? Square brackets. What it gives? It gives the slice. It gives the letter from the given index. Suppose if you apply array of 1, it will give only. Suppose if you apply variable 1, array of 1 is y. Suppose if you apply array of 1 variable 2, e. So these square brackets slice it gives the letter from the given index. Suppose you are using square bracket in between two numericals, you are giving the colon, that is use the range slice, it gives the characters. So when you apply the range of values, when you want to display the range of values, you can use this colon within the numericals. Only if you are asking, see here, print print variable 1 array of 0. Variable 1 of, now we want to display the value. What it displays? Variable array of 0 is P. You are not giving any range. Just when you want to particular character, you can give the square brackets and particular numerical value. Array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, whatever it is. So display particular value. When you want to give the range, so in between the characters, when you want to apply the range, you can type like this square brackets, and within the particular numerical values, you can give the range, that is colon, that is range slice. It gives the characters. Suppose if you use in operator, So membership returns true if letter exists in the given string. So in operator, not or not in, we can use tomorrow. Okay. See here, strings, list. These are the basic arithmetic operators. Using operate with list, exercise, string formatting, basic string operations. We have an exercise, conditions. We are applying the condition, Boolean operators. So tomorrow we'll use in operator, is operator, not operator. So we'll discussing about these arithmetic operators tomorrow. Okay, operators, basic string operations, all operations, what are the operations we have, we can use tomorrow those operations. So in means membership return true if letter exists in the given string. Not in means membership returns true if letter exists is not in the given string. Either you can use small r or capital R. Raw string suppresses actual meaning of the escape characters. When you use the percentage, that is used for the string format. So when you use plus, it concatenates two strings. When you use asterisk, which is repeats the value. Okay, see here. So these asterisk, adding, addition, multiplication, division, we'll see tomorrow. So we will discuss about the operators tomorrow. So I can give some exercises to you. You can practice. Okay.
Okay.
Can you note it down or?
Yes.
See here, you can practice this. So this is our exercise. So to create a string and an integer and a floating point number, the string should be named my string and that should contain a word hello or whatever. So you can give hello. The floating point number should be named my float and give the number 10.2. And the integer should be named my int and it can contain the 2. So you can print all these values. You can practice it. Okay. Can you note it down? Or after that, can I share you?
Yes, we took a screenshot.
Okay, I will share you. Okay. If you want, you can write it and practice today. I can share you this. And another exercise is you will need to add numbers and strings to the correct list using the append list method. And you must add the numbers 1, 2, and 3 to the numbers list. And the words hello and world to the string variables, concatenation. You will also have the fill in the variables, second name, the second name in the names list using the bracket operator. Like already we are practicing. Note that the indexes is 0 base. Why? Because array is always starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you want to access the second item in the list, index will be 1. Okay. You can practice these two. So operators, tomorrow we'll discuss about the operators, arithmetic operators. So we have the plus, minus, multiplication, division, and we use the list in formatting, how to format the strings. Okay. Tomorrow we'll discuss about these.
Sir, can you forward this material to us?
Yeah, sure. ఖచ్చితంగా పంపిస్తాను నేను.
మాకు వీడియో మెటీరియల్ ఒకటే వచ్చింది.
వచ్చింది.
వీడియో రాలేదా?
వీడియో లింక్ ఒకటి ఫార్వర్డ్ చేశారు ప్రకాష్ గారు.
ప్రకాష్ గారిని అడగండి, వీడియో లింక్ ఇస్తారు మీకు. వీడియో కూడా ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తారు. ఇది మీకు ఈ మెటీరియల్ కూడా పంపిస్తాను నేను. ఓకేనా?
మీకు రావట్లేదు అది.
నా ప్రకాష్ గారి దగ్గర ఉన్నాయి.
So tomorrow we'll meet same time, 4 o'clock. Okay. So these are the basics. First you should understand the basic concepts. At that time you can easily follow the vectors, probability, and statistics. After that only we will use the machine learning. Okay. These are the all basics: variables, list, basic operations, string formatting, basic string operations, condition, Boolean operators, loops, for loop, while loop, do while loop, functions. So already we are not discussing about the functions. We will discuss later. Already we are writing here, right? Some def function that is not working. Some function, right? So you are using some functions. What are the functions we have? So we'll discuss about those functions also in the later sessions. Okay, functions. After that, classes. This class, object, these are all groups, object-oriented programming language. Class, polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulations, and multiple inheritance. After that, we will use the dictionaries, modules, and packages. Okay, first we will thorough the basics. If you are understanding completely these basics, you can easily follow the further topics. These are the important. This is the basic building blocks to create further programs. Okay.
Yeah.
So hi Shiju.
Pradeep.
Yeah, are you followed?
Yep, I'm good with that because I know
These
some
are the
basics about
basics.
Python.
Yeah, only these are the basics. So after if you are comfortable with the basics, you can easily develop the statistical programs or probability programs or linear algebra programs. After that, machine learning. Machine learning, we have so huge complex algorithms and models we have, right? So first you should understand these basics. These basics are very, very important for our further programs. Okay.
Hope you can share this material.
Yeah, sure. I will give the exercise also. If you are not getting the answers, I can give the solutions next classes. Okay. So you can share
Okay.
your mail IDs. I will forward this material.
Okay.
Okay.
అక్కడ టెక్స్ట్ లో
So we'll meet tomorrow.
That's it, right, for the day?
Yeah, sizu9p@gmail.com, right?
Yep.
Right. So today we'll wind up. Tomorrow we'll take next further classes. That is basic operators, arithmetic operators. Okay.
Okay.
And string formatting, how to format the strings. Just now we are using some numericals and formatting are converted with the help of string function, right? So we will use so many functions are there in a string. How to format those we will discuss tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay? After that we will use the conditions. So tomorrow we'll meet same 4 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And Pradeep, you got my email ID?
Vantaku Ramesha.
Yeah. 16@gmail.com.
And even mine, I send mine.
Sandesh.
Yes. This.
Okay. Sai Sandesh 15.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for it.
Okay. Bye.